Okay, guys, I'm going to start straddling the bolster in Virasana. You could take a bit more height underneath your bottom, but if this doesn't work for your knees, just come and sit either on the edge of a chair or in cross-legged, but with your sitting bones lifted. So this Virasana, I've got my bolster just underneath the back of my bottom, sitting bones, calf muscles rolled out of the way. It opens up the pelvis, but it is quite strong on the knees. So I want you to make sure that if you're doing this version, you're propped up enough so there's no pain. If it's fine for you and you can get your sitting bones down on the ground, then come into full Virasana. This isn't W sitting. So do you remember at primary school, people used to do the W sitting? It's not that. You've got your ankles stretching at the top and your feet are sort of underneath your thighs a bit.
Yeah, that's
have you got
because of my arthritis and my total knee replacement. I think I'll
working. Let's put you on the edge of a chair, Claire, for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're just mobilising the pelvis and things. So edge of the chair, little blanket underneath your sitting bones so that your pelvis is slightly on a anterior forward tilt. Yeah.
Is your bottom actually on the ground?
I'm sitting on a bolster right now, but you could, you know, if you're open enough through the quadriceps, this is called rectus femoris, this big muscle here, which I can really feel the stretch on when I'm like that. But, you know, yeah, we're aiming to get down onto the ground. But for the moment, you're probably going to need bolster or blanket folded. Quite nice to have a blanket like that, so you're sitting literally on the corner. Yeah, so the corner is under the pubic bone, and the sitting bones are lifted. So
I don't know how to do it on a chair.
Just, well, Claire, we're going to be opening up the pelvis a bit and just opening up the rib cage. So sitting on a chair, just make sure you're not slouching. You're lifting up. Yeah.
So am I sitting up or am I having my knees down? Am I trying to get my knees down?
Don't worry about your knees. Just sitting on the chair.
Just sit on the chair.
Just sit on the chair. Sit on the chair. I want you guys to sit where you're feeling quite comfortable, but obviously we want the pelvis to be open. Yeah. Yes. So what I mean is, I don't want anyone just slouching like so.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice and lifted. All righty. Let's just take the hands out to the side. Turn the palms. Take a slow breath in, deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, visualize your sitting bones spreading. And then as you breathe out, visualize your sitting bones slightly coming together, like almost like that. So breathing in, you want to feel your sitting bones spreading out to the sides and then slightly coming towards each other. Breath in, spread your rib cage out to the side and focusing on your pelvic floor muscles, breathing out. So as we breathe in, the pelvic floor receives that breath. The diaphragm is dropping down and spreading out. And our pelvic diaphragm, which works with the lung diaphragm, is receiving the breath and is dropping and spreading. So we want to feel that dropping and spreading, dropping the breath down and out, not up in our chest. Down, filling the pelvic bowl, outwards, spreading out underneath the armpits, almost like water pouring down into a vase, a circular kind of vase, from the bottom out to the sides and up. One more. Dropping, spreading, expanding, and then down. Let's just go to one side. So up and over lateral stretch. We'll pause here. So the intercostal muscles between the ribs, we're opening those up, dropping the hip down as we lift the rib cage up. Side stretch here. Breathe deeply and just move your hips slightly forward and back as you breathe. So we stretch into the hip area. So you're just kind of dropping your pubic bone down, lifting it, dropping it down, lifting it as we breathe. Wriggle your jaw. loosen the jaw here. Good. And then slide your way up and over to the other side. Drop the shoulder away from your ears. Press the pelvis downwards as you lift the ribcage upwards. That's it, nice smooth breaths. Feeling those ribs spreading like a fan. So imagine those intercostal muscles are receiving your breath, are expanding. We have most of our lung capacity down here at the back of our lungs, the bottom back. So feel that area opening up as you breathe. And then just wriggle your pelvis forward and back, forward and back. Beautiful, slowly coming up. Let's take the hands on the hips and just roll the pelvis around in a circle. So we've got the pubic bone at the front, we've got our sitting bones west and east, and we've got our tailbone at the back, south. So north, south, west and east. And you're just kind of going around the compass like so. Massaging right around one direction and then the other direction, lifting and dropping the hips, feeling that expansion, contraction of the muscles. Beautiful. Good. And I'm going to get you just to come into a nice aligned posture. So actually, first of all, drop your head and your shoulders, roll them around so that we can just release any stiffness in the upper body. Big circling movement like that. And that's it. Try and take your head and your shoulders. So can you see how I'm lifting and dropping the shoulders, massaging the whole shoulder girdle. Keep going with that. I'm just going to take a little sip of water. And then restacking head right on top of neck, draw the chin in. So we create, it's called Jalandhara Bandha, a slight lock at the back of the throat. Imagine a mother cat has picked her up by the scruff of the neck. So we've got this elongation through the cervical spine. And head is bang on top of neck. Neck is on top of shoulders, so don't let it poke forward, like so. So we're not dropping it, straight back. And then rib cage here is sitting on top of the pelvis. So just feel into the bottom of the rib cage and the top of your pelvis, that front crest of the hip bone here. Just see if you can make sure that they are sitting on top of each other there. And then we'll just let the shoulders drop. Nice loose jaw. Take a few breaths, breathing in through the nostrils, where it does feel again like the pelvic floor muscles are relaxing and spreading on that inhale. So you can kind of feel the anus relaxing. You visualize your sitting bones moving apart. And then as you exhale, just imagine them drawing in towards each other. So inhaling, receiving the breath, exhaling, either out through your mouth or through your nostrils, doesn't matter. Inhaling through the nostrils, exhaling. Right, so we're going to do the breath in like that, and then as we breathe out quite quickly, it's called the fire breath, we're going to pull upwards through the pelvic floor, so it's a quick close of those sitting bones towards each other. So they don't actually move very much, they do a tiny bit, but it's the muscles that contract in and upwards. And it feels like you're getting a quick zipping up action through your belly up towards your rib cage. And then you drop it on the inhale, and then we do a quick lift on the exhale. So it's quite a big action through here. It's a heating action. Okay, so we go breathe in, we'll just do 10 to start off with. Breathe in and then go. Now, I don't mind if you breathe out through your nostrils quickly or through your mouth, whatever works for you. Breathing in. Just focus on the exhale. Don't worry about the inhale, it'll happen of its own accord. and relax. I don't know how many we did then, I wasn't listening. Take a couple of regular breaths. Inhale, expansion of the pelvic floor. Exhaling. We'll do a few more of those. Spire breath, Chalavati breath. my flu brain is not working, so yeah. And all right, so we're going to do 10 more. So you're just focusing on the exhale, and it's a lift on the exhale, okay? So breathing in, spread the pelvic floor. Do 3 more. And relax. Just take a couple of regular breaths. So that breath, it kind of polishes the inside of your skull. It wakes you up. It gets the prana, the life force moving through you. It starts to create a bit of a fire in the belly. It's great for digestion as well. Okay, so take the arms out like this now, so like a window, elbows in. And we're just going to move from side to side, like so, like a washing machine. So you need to keep your rib cage bang on top of your pelvis. And we're just going to loosen up the diaphragm, loosen up this area here, the thoracic area. So I like to imagine that like there's a ping pong ball going between my elbows here, and you just kind of push, you like ping pong, thing like that, okay? So as you move, you breathe out. So it's like, so go to the one side and breathe out as you go to the one side. Don't want to have a snotty nose doing this. Okay, come back into the center, just take a breath, do 2 regular breath, and then we'll do it to the other side. And might need a tissue. Breathing in and good. Slowly come down. Take your hands on your thighs. And close your eyes, and as you breathe in, let the inhale feel like it's floating up your spine towards the crown of the head, and as you exhale, it's like a relaxation, a softening through the whole of your body. So breathing in up through the spine, where your focus goes, your energy flows, and then as you exhale, it's a dissipation of that focus through the whole of the body. Beautiful, okay. And 1 more of those. So this time, hands up by your pelvis. As you breathe out, we're going to round the back like angry cat. And as you breathe in, you pull the hands towards your pelvis, lift the heart center, and your pelvis is rocking forward, pubic bone down. So breathing out, pubic bone is lifting, tucking your tail under, and breathing in, you're lifting like so. But we're going to start doing it quite fast. Now, I'm going to get, sorry, I should have said this. I'm going to get you to try and keep your head relatively still. So not like angry cat where you round. You're actually going to keep your head as if you've got a string attached to the crown, lifting up towards the ceiling. So it's your body doing this, but your head is pretty static, okay? So breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Again, don't worry about the breath in. It'll come of its own accord. Breathing out, breathing out. Pelvis moving. Core muscles switching on. Beautiful, and slow breath in. Hold the top of the breath. Breathing out. Okay, let's just come down onto the ground if you're sitting on a chair. If you are on your bolster, coming off that. So I'm just opening everything up, warming everything up, getting a bit of activation through those pelvic floor muscles. Now we're going to go into the hips. So take your feet out in front of you, hands out behind you. Let's just squeeze and massage those toes and feet. Pull your toes back, spread them, and then squeeze them. Pull them back, spread them. Stretch the soles of the feet and squeeze. Pull back and squeeze. And then dropping the knees from side to side. So window wiping the knees from side to side into this 90-degree zigzag. That's it. Beautiful. Pause here. Now I'm going to get you to push the inside of the top knee into the ground and then consciously activate the back of your thigh and into your bum, glute muscle here. So you're doing a little squeeze so that there's a feeling like the knee wants to roll down into the ground. Just holding that, contracting, holding. And that's it. And then up and over to the other side. Same thing. Squeezing glute, squeezing a little bit into your hamstring here so that you roll forward, pressing the inside of the knee down into your mat. Isometric contraction. That's the way. Okay, so come back to first side. Now, we're coming to sit up. If you've got a chair nearby, you could always, for the wall, put a hand on your chair or on the wall, yeah? So this is making us use all of these muscles to lift us up. So Claire, this is the nasty one for you, my darling. All right, so we're squeezing the bum, we're rolling the hip forward. And then, okay, first of all, I'm going to get you to press the knee down for a moment and just hold this so you can feel all of this activating. You're pressing the knee into the ground, you're holding, you're getting this contraction. Now release that. You might need to get a little pat on your bum here. And then we're going to squeeze and lift the knee up. Yeah, so see if you can squeeze and lift the knee up off the ground and hold it there. So you might need to hold on to your chair. Even if it's just for a second, try it for a second, drop it, and then squeeze and lift again. This will give you buttery hips. And then let's just drop that down for a moment. Let's do a little pat. All right. See if we can squeeze up, lift up. Now squeeze and lift the knee up. Now see if you can kick your foot out. It's nervy, it's horrible, you feel it here. Nasty. Drop it down. Relax. Squeeze and lift. That's it, well done. Back again. And then drop. And release it. Can you feel that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So we are isometrically strengthening right into the joint. So rolling forward again, yeah, rolling forward, squeeze your bum a bit. Okay, first of all, just a little bit of contraction there, contract it, contract it, contract it. We'll release that, and then contract again and lift up off the ground. Breathe, don't stop breathing. Now, you'll build up to this, so if you need to drop for a bit more and then squeeze and lift, just for a second, please do that. Let's go straight to the kick out. Kick out. Come on, Helen. Drop it down. All right, squeeze and lift. You got it, well done. And then pull it back. Nice. And drop it down. Okay, give it a little rub. All right, now this is the nasty bit. That wasn't the nasty bit. Roll the hip forward, yes, so this is adducting. So you're going inwards. So we've got a stretch on the psoas muscle here, and we've got activation through the glutes. Now squeeze and lift. Now we're going to go more into the glutes for strengthening. I'm going to get you to kick backwards, little donkey kicks backwards through the heel. You've got those toes stretched out, and you're just kicking back through the heel. Kick, 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 kick. You can drop down any time, take a break. And then we're going to squeeze and come up again. And try a bit more. Drop, 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 drop. Nasty. Well done, hit it. Well done. All right, take that left foot out in front of you. Take the right ankle on top. And then we are externally rotating. So dropping that knee away. It's the opposite direction. Holding that stretch. Maybe walk the bottom foot, so my left foot, slightly closer and lift the heart slightly. So we go a little bit deeper into that stretch. How's that one? Good. All right, so we've got the other side to go. Let's just take those feet on the ground. Give your knees a little bit of a window wipe, one side and then the other. Good. Legs out in front. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Go to the other side. Okay, so into your zigzag. Rolling slightly forward, holding here. You're pressing the knee down. It's like you're pressing the knee down, but at the same time, you're trying to lift the leg up off the ground. So imagine that there's a force that's pulling your knee into the ground, and at the same time, you're sort of trying to lift your leg off the ground, but you can't, if that makes any sense. Holding that, contraction, 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 squeezing into the hip joint. And then we'll release it, and we'll roll forward again. And this time we're squeezing and we're lifting up. Pull your toes back. You might need to give it a bit of a rub. Breathe, hum. Holding that contraction. And then dropping it for a moment, releasing it. Holding that contraction up again. Press the heel away from you. Hold that. Slightly internally rotated. Drop down. Woo. Squeeze to lift. Come on, Claire, smile. Like I didn't. And then pull that foot back. That's the way. And drop it down. Let's give it a pat. All right, let's do the contraction again. So knee in, just holding it here, contracting. Feel like you need to pull the knee up, but at the same time you're pushing the knee down. Release that. Roll forward again, lift off the ground, flex your toes, holding it here for a moment. And then we're going to push the foot away from us. Hold it here. If you're looking for punishment, you might even want to kick the heel up towards the ceiling. You're like, no, I don't want to do that one. Okay, come back again. And then down. All right, we'll go straight into the glute strengthening here. So roll forward. Now we're going to pick the knee up, flex your toes back, and then do your donkey kicks backwards. Little squeezes of the glute here. You've got your chair, hold on to your chair so you can stay lifted up. Kick, 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 kick. You can squeeze your face. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And drop it. You go, well done, bum. Woo. Let's just release that side. So foot on top of knee. Oh, and just a little bit of a rock here. Be careful what you ask for, what you wish for. That's it. And then maybe bring that foot a little bit closer and lift your heart center. Ah, good. That's the way. Battery hips. All right, let's put those feet down one more time into the window wiping. Up and over. Up and over. Up and over. Do you know, so much of the hip stiffness is also quadricep stiffness, so I feel like we should also do a release on the quads. So maybe let's do that one on our tummies. Yeah, so first of all, let's go onto our backs and then we'll come onto our tummies. So come onto your backs, have your bolster close by. If you've got a strap, grab that as well. Okay, so starting with your knees bent, feet close, I'm going to get you to, first of all, I just activate through the pelvic floor and do the zipping up. So we breathe in, it feels like our sitting bones are widening, pelvic floor is relaxed. Breathing out, let's do the puffy breath through the mouth now. So breathing out, you can just feel the vulva area, everything's just drawing inwards, and we're zipping up through the vagina, through the cervix towards our tummy button. And then we inhale, we unzip, and we feel this expansion. We breathe out and we zip upwards. So it's a slow version of what we were doing sitting. Do this a few times. You can feel the anus closing. You feel that sensation like you're stopping yourself weeing. It's all zipping in and up. And then relaxing completely, like you could do a wee, that relaxed. Yeah, like that. Now we're just going to add a bit of activation through the glutes. So breathing out, push through the heels. Remember the feet, how connected they are up into the pelvic floor. Push through the heels, drawing upwards, rolling up your spine, and drop back down again. Relax, breathe in, breathing out, push through the heels, activation, activation, rolling up the spine. Inhale, nice deep breath in, relax. Breathing out, press, lift. And breathing in to relax. Push down as you rise. Now, you either continue with this, yeah? If we're building up coordination and strength, and we're at the beginning of our journey doing that, I want you to keep doing this. Coordination, breath out, pelvic floor, fraction of a second later, we activate through the heels, glutes to roll up. If you've been doing this for a while, we're going to make it a bit harder. So we're going to push through the heels, breathing out, we're coming up, we're going to pause here, heels toe towards each other, keep pressing through the left heel, and then keep doing puffy breaths out, and you are just tapping your right toe to the ground, breathing out as you lift your knee. So we're stabilizing the pelvis, activating quite deeply into that left glute. Hip joints, hip bones at the front want to stay nice and stable. Strengthening into the core. Beautiful. You can always just do a couple of these and then come back to the rolls up and down. Press through the right heel, really activate that right glute, and then little toe taps, breathing out, breathing out. Beautiful. Take those feet apart and very slowly, one vertebra at a time, come down, come down, come down. Let your back muscles release into the ground. A couple of nice relaxing breaths here. Everything's nice and soft. So we'll just open up the quads a little bit now. So coming up this time a little bit higher, so you're not just on a slope, you're a bit higher. So we're pushing the heels into the ground. Now roll right up towards your shoulders and draw your shoulders underneath your body. So you're trying to pull your elbows towards each other. Palms down and lifting up through the pelvis. Maybe if you can reach easily, interlace the hands. If you're interlacing, push your hands and your wrists and your forearms and your elbows into the ground. Now you want to feel like your knees are being pulled to the wall opposite. So imagine someone's got your knees and they're pulling your knees away from your pelvis. So we're stretching the front of the thighs, the quadriceps. Keep pushing down through your heels. So all of this is active as if we're stretching. You're breathing through your nostrils. You're opening everything, all the front of your body as you breathe. Good. Arms nice and wide. Shuffle those shoulders apart. Slowly come down one more time. Very slowly, 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 slowly. Good. Now, if you've got a bolster, try sliding that underneath your pelvis. If you find that having your pelvis up like this makes you feel a little dizzy, either just try a folded blanket under the pelvis or just come be flat on the ground, yeah? So this is good in that it drops the organs away from the pelvic floor, so it's great for releasing and actually for especially rectocele, for toning into any kind of pelvic floor prolapse. So actually, before we do more release work, let's just do a little bit of activation. This time you're focusing more around the anus. Same breath, breathing out through the mouth. We are sucking in a fart, yeah? So that's what it feels like. You're sucking in and you're zipping it up, 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 up. You're holding it. You're in a lift. There's lots of people in the lift with you. You can't let rip right now. Holding it in, holding it in, holding it in. Release, 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 release. Okay, again, breathing out, activate through the anus, zipping up, zipping up, zipping up, so you can feel everything starting to zip up, in and up. Breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. Don't squeeze your bum muscles though. Yeah, we know what it feels like to squeeze our bum muscles. We've just been doing it. Don't let your bum squeeze. It's just an internal activation and sucking up, sucking up. And then release, 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 release. Let your jaw be nice and relaxed. We've got one more of those in us, so this is your slow twitch muscles. Activation, stopping yourself passing wind, zipping upwards. It's like your whole bowel is lifting upwards. Feeling like your corset is starting to get a little bit activated, a little bit tightened here. Breathing out, waist is cinching in, back muscles slightly working. Let it all go. Alrighty, so a bit more release on the side here. Ankle on top of knee, figure 4 stretch. Now, Claire, we can go deeper into the hip joint release by taking our hand just above the knee onto the thigh. Grab hold of your thigh flesh with your thumb and draw it outwards, slightly draw it outwards. Yeah, so hopefully you can feel a little bit deeper stretch right into that hip joint. Relax your jaw, relax your upper back muscles, relax your shoulders, relax your tummy. I've actually got my left hand here, the thumb, right on that acupressure point, which is just below the ball of your foot. So anytime your foot's close to you, just take the opportunity to press into that acupressure point right in the center of the bottom of the ball of the foot, where the pink bit intersects with the white bit on the sole of your foot, the lighter bit, and that acupressure point is great for calming the nervous system. Good. Alrighty, let's take that leg up, give it a shake, check your jaw at the same time. And the other side. What time is it? Okay, drawing that knee in. I'm going to put my thumb on that acupressure point at the same time, holding gently, firmly your thigh flesh just above the knee and externally So you're drawing outwards with that thumb. And it just gives you a deeper mobilization into the hip. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, good. Alrighty. And take that leg up. Now, baby pose. Again, if you're feeling at all dizzy or it's becoming uncomfortable, just take the bolster away. Yeah, but always be super kind to yourself here. So I'm just going to use the strap for this baby pose. If you haven't got a strap, don't worry, just come into baby pose without the strap. So first of all, nice straight legs, balls of the feet towards us, heels away. So we're opening up the back of the legs and you're pushing your pelvis either into your bolster or into the ground. So the back of your pelvis is pushing down backwards. So if I was sitting, you guys stay where you are. If I was sitting, and this is called rod pose, Dandasana. If I was sitting, I wouldn't be sitting here, I'd be like this, and I'm almost hinging forward. So I've got this elongation of the hamstrings with the back of my pelvis pushing backwards. So we're doing this, but upside down. And maybe with a bolster. Oh, all right. So this is how we open up the hamstrings by pressing the pelvis backwards, heels away from us. And then slide those feet wide so we feel the inner thigh stretch. And just, if you haven't got a strap, you just have to hold your legs here, push out through the heels, pull your toes towards you. And it's almost like you're sucking your thigh bones, your femurs, into your hip joints, yeah? So you want to almost feel like this whole leg is being sucked back in. So you're being quite conscious with your activation of the muscles around the hip joints. And then bend the knees, and I'm just going to sort of roll my hands up the strap a bit here, so I've got a bit more traction. And we'll just hang here in baby pose. Again, you're trying to tilt your tail back. So you're opening up your pelvic floor as much as possible. And breathing here, you're feeling your sitting bones widen, pubic bone and tailbone as far apart as possible. Now we've got the upper back area pressing into the ground. So this is where we have these oxytocin receptors on our upper back. So try and relax your upper back muscles into the ground. Relax your jaw. And I mean, just kind of imagine, you're imagining in this happy baby pose that these happy hormones are just flooding your body. You imagine you are being given a big bear hug, and that pressure on your upper back is a big hug. And the body is being flooded with happy oxytocin hormones. That's it. Sighing the breath out. Very good. Just slide your feet towards each other. Take a moment in cobbler. So knees out, just kind of hanging here in cobbler. If you don't have a strap, you're just going to have to grab your ankles or your shins. Very good. And then I just wanted to finish with a quadricep stretch. So let's slide that bolster away, come down onto your back. You might need to just hang here for a few breaths to let everything expand and settle if you did have your bottom on a bolster. We're going to roll onto our tummies. Now, if you've got big boobs, you might need to fold a blanket or two and put them underneath your just on your from your rib cage onto your tummy, so that your pubic bone and your boobs are off the blanket. All right, on to tummies. Now use your strap if your ankles feel too far away. Lift and roll and lift and roll. So this is my left shoulder, I'm lifting and rolling, lifting it right up towards the ears, all the way back. So I'm getting a bit of an activation between the shoulder blades as I bring the shoulder back. Imagine that shoulder joint, you want to just swirl it around, swish it around, keep it nice and healthy. Up and back. And now you're leaving the arm in the back here and bending the knee, grabbing hold of ankle. So again, if you need a strap to grab the ankle, please do use your strap. Flexing toes. And now we're pressing the pubic bone and the bikini line area, so the hip flexor here, into the ground, down into the ground. So hopefully you can feel the stretch at the front of your thigh. Can you guys all feel that? Yep.
Yep.
Good. And then in order to sort of spread the stretch right across the front of your thigh, just roll your foot sort of towards your bum crack and then to the outside of your thigh, or to your hip, outside of your hip. So inwards and outwards. So you're just kind of rolling the stretch right across your thigh. And of course, in the hip socket, we're moving from one side of that hip socket to the other. And you might find that one part is a bit tighter. So I'm just going to hang here for a moment in the on the outside. So my foot is on the outside of my thigh. And coming back. Just drop that side, give it a tap, give your foot a tap. Quite nice just lying down, isn't it? I have a little mini sleep here. And the other side. All right, rolling the shoulder up and back, rolling the shoulder up and back. Did that a couple of times. Up and back, into the back of the shoulder socket, grabbing hold of the ankle. Flex the foot. Start to press the right, this is my right side here, pressing the right side of the pelvis down into the ground, pubic bone down. But you're not actually kind of squeezing your bum, yeah? So this is all about just literally moving the pelvis towards the ground without squeezing your bum so you're not squeezing your bum, you're just literally pressing the pubic bone down. And then let's again roll that stretch right across the thigh and visualize the hip joint, yeah? So the top of your femur rolling around the cup of the hip joint. So just sort of imagine all of those muscles right around the hip joint, all benefiting from this attention, conscious breathing in a relaxed way. That's it. The sigh, the hum, the extended exhalation is your friend here. Just going to hang here again. So this is the internal rotation of the hip joint and stretching the outer part of my thigh here. Okay, just dropping that. Okay, both hands underneath the forehead. Let the knees, let the toes drop in and the heels drop out. And just jiggle, jiggle, jiggle from side to side so you can feel the front of your thighs being massaged, the tummy, the pelvis being massaged, your bum is just being released here. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Everything's
I'm afraid I've got a call. I've got to go. I didn't. My apologies.
No, that was, oh, bye-bye. Okay, so jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Wonderful. Okay, just coming into stillness, ladies. Let the whole of the front of your body feel super relaxed, connected into the ground. Forehead smooth, jaw relaxed. Feels like the front of your body has turned into wax and it's just melting into the ground. Noticing the lower lobes of the back of your lungs and taking a few slow, expansive breaths that fill up the lungs from the bottom and out to the sides and then slowly up to the top of your lungs. Mentally saying to your body, thank you, thank you, thank you. Very good. Hands under the shoulders. Just push yourself back. Give yourself a stretch and extended child pose. Shoulders away from your ears. Armpit stretching. Back of the pelvis stretching. That's the way. Hands and knees. Sexy cat circles. Circles. Rinsing it all out. Rinsing. One direction. Other direction. Give it all a rinse. And then just come and sit for a moment. Good. You are done. Let's roll the upper body. Roll it. And then restack it. Head bang on top of your neck. Chin slightly tucked in. Rib cage sitting on top of the pelvis. Feel the length of your spine. The tingling of the hips. Take those hands out, turn the palms. Take a very slow, deliberate breath in. Fingers right up above you, looking upwards, hold the top of the breath, and let it go. Well done, thank you. Namaste. It'll be interesting to